shooting for a production of a movie. It's for a movie production. No, I wouldn't need, I wouldn't anyways, to be honest with you. Uh, I think it's, let me know when we are on, and there, can you check when we're live?
I think we are.
Okay. I'm going to assume we are then. It is 7:30 p.m. Today is Wednesday, June 7th, 2023, and this is a regular City Commission meeting of the City of West Miami, and this meeting is called to order. Please rise for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good evening. Lord our God, our refuge forever, bless us who have gathered in your presence and who turn to you in all distress, not only in our personal need, but also in the distress of the nations and peoples of the whole world. We thank you for giving us so much grace, for helping us and never forsaking us, so that again and again we can find joy and can glorify and praise you. May your name be praised by all people throughout the world, and may everyone on earth acknowledge you and receive all that they need from you. Amen.
Amen. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Yes, item 3, roll call. Mayor Eric Diaz-Padrón.
Here.
Vice Mayor Juan Blanes.
Present.
Commissioner Candida Blanca. Commissioner Ivan Chavez Jr.
Here.
Commissioner Luciano Suarez.
Yes.
Mayor, you have quorum.
Thank you. Next item.
Item 4, presentation of minutes for approval for May 3rd, 2023, local planning agency meeting workshop.
Motion.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Yes, May 3rd, 2023, regular commission meeting.
Motion. Second.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And May 10th, 2023, special commission meeting.
Motion. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item.
Item 5, public comments.
Is anyone here for public comments? Not an item. Just in general, public comments. Seeing none. Next item.
Item 6, report of the city manager.
Go ahead.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, and residents. As your new manager, I want to say thank you again for the confidence in selecting me as the manager and following up on the stellar career of our former manager, Yolanda Aguilar, who served admirably for 29 years. It's been rewarding to see the dedication of our employees in serving the community, and I look forward to continue observing the operational sides of our city. In front of you, there's a new thing for you all to look through, which is a manager's report. And that will be given to you monthly so that you can have a glimpse of all of what's happening. For our residents, it'll be on our webpage so that they also can go through it and look at it and see what and understand what our government does on a daily basis. I want to talk about our preliminary taxable value. We received both good and bad news on it. Our values have increased 5.6%, which is the good, but it's the second lowest increase in the county. We also have received notifications from one of our banking partners, the U.S. Century Bank, that our interest has gone up. They've raised it from 3 to 4.25%, and we want to thank them for reviewing our files and raising our interest payments. We also received notice that bulk pickup from the county has almost doubled from last year as the new proposed rates, something that we're going to have to discuss further as we go into the budgeting season. I've been informed as well that our insurance costs are skyrocketing and to expect a 25% increase. That's also something that we're going to have to address and have a discussion, a frank and earnest discussion through the summer. I would now like to have our police chief take to the podium and give an update.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commission. Reference to town hall meetings. So the manager met with me and explained to me that he would like to see some town hall meetings occur, community meetings, what have you. We spoke about whether it was going to be a full a community meeting with all departments, or it was just going to be the police. For now, we've decided it's going to be the police and code enforcement. And I am preparing one of the officers to be who is the NRO now, who does the DARE programs and things of that nature in the schools. He's going to be doing in other words, leading the town hall meetings as far as the police is concerned. So we are in conversations, and we will let you know shortly. It'll probably be within the next month or so, what date we're going to try to hold the town hall meeting and where. Right now, it looks like the community center as far as what we're planning. As far as securing the back gate, so we've had a problem for a long, long time involving the elderly citizens that go to the community center in the daytime. They walk through the back of the parking lot, through the gate to get to the market, and it's constant walking back and forth, including even some citizens. If it wasn't for the danger that there is in that back parking lot with all these big trucks and police cars coming in and out, not to mention the fact that at some points we have violent prisoners that we have to remove from a car and take into the station and things of that nature, I think we've just been lucky that we haven't had anybody get hurt back there. It's constant, and we absolutely need that gate shut down. I mean, they need to go, if they want to go to the market, they need to go through the sidewalk. I believe we've just been lucky that we're not civilly liable for something. It's just pure luck. So with your approval eventually, I guess, we would like that gate shut down, and possibly even the vehicle traffic that goes back there. There's a sign there that says you can't go past that stop sign. People do all day long. And if it isn't one of us, one of the employees, God forbid, it's going to be one of these other people that are coming in, turning around and going back out again. I'd also like to let you know that thanks to my Deputy Chief, Pete Delgado, we were able to secure a grant. It's a residual funds grant, and we'll be talking about that shortly. Other than that, if you have any questions, I really don't have anything else.
Thank you, Chief. I also would like to have the city engineer, Mr. Alonso, come up and discuss some of the preliminary results of a sewer smoke test that we've done.
Thank you, and thank you, Chief, and thank you for working on that town hall. Thank you.
All right, good evening, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners. So yeah, we have a couple of ongoing items that I'll report on real quickly. As the manager mentioned, our smoke testing, which we recently completed, that's something that we do every 10 years to monitor the sewer system, determine where we have leaks, and come up with a plan of action for repairs. The testing was commenced and completed. We've received preliminary reports, but I don't have the full reports yet, so we're waiting on the final summary from the contractor that did the work. As soon as we have that, we'll identify those locations, come up with a plan, and hopefully in time for budget so that we can have that budgeted for the next year, any type of repairs and so forth. And then just another quick mention of our water system. As you guys know, we're under construction on a phase, and we're soon to go under construction on our next phase. And I just wanted to report, because we recently did our annual reports on water loss from the prior years. And we were glad to report that we had a significant decrease already in the couple projects that we put in the ground. We've already seen a 10% decrease from 42% water loss down to 32% since 2018. So that's pretty significant. And that's just 10% of the system that we've touched.
Which I'm pretty sure, Mr. Manager, actually made that enterprise fund profitable for the first time in
That is correct, Mayor.
I don't know how long, so.
So
excellent.
we're tracking good, and yeah, good things coming.
Thank you.
A few more items. We just received our Tree City designation for, I believe it's our 7th year. As an update, as you all know, and if you drive around our city, you're going to see our new signs that are going up, which are a significant improvement from the old signs. Kudos to this council for getting that done. I will also be bringing in the near future to the council. I need to rebid the marquee sign that's out here in the front that you've approved once before, a couple of years back, but that bid's a little outdated, so we have to redo it. And thanks to the mayor, I found out that we have a 99-year lease on a parcel of land on 67th Avenue. where I'm also going to try to get a bid for a marquee sign or electronic sign there as well to help us continue to get our messages out to our residents. We're also working with Clear Channel to provide a welcomes PSA sign on the corner of Southwest 57th Avenue and 8th Street. I also want to talk about the fact that that Councilman Chavez, through his efforts, has gotten a great donation from us from the Brianna Vargas Foundation for the city, and I want to turn it over to him so he can show it and have a little discussion on it.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. So a few months ago, the mayor actually put me in touch with one of our residents. Her name is Nikki. She put me in touch with Jesus Vergara. He's the father of Brianna Vergara, who sadly passed away due to a heart condition that she had and she wasn't aware of. So they created the Brianna Vergara Foundation. Their mission is to raise funds that they can then turn around and donate automated external defibrillators to our rec center and to other communities around to protect their children. So I'm happy to report that we did receive the AED. This is it right here. And just in time for summer camp that's kicking off tomorrow, we'd like to install this as soon as possible and then set a date that we can have the Brianna Vergara Foundation come to our city and do a ribbon cutting just to show our appreciation to them for donating this life-saving equipment.
Thank you, thank you. And I want to make sure that we properly recognize the foundation and get them recognized, and I know that helps their mission, so, thank you.
Two more items, and then I'll turn it over for any questions. I need to report that there is a grant that we had applied for on car charging stations that unfortunately, an extension that was applied for about a month and a half, 2 months ago was denied. So that is a grant that we'll be losing. However, I have instructed our grant writer to pursue another grant immediately to try to offset that loss. And with that, I will turn it over for any questions that the council may have.
Does anyone have any questions for the manager on his report? Very thorough. Nope. Seeing none, you're off the hook for now. Next item, please.
Item 7, report of the city attorney.
Yes, good afternoon. We have had numerous meetings with the manager in reference to his administration and his plan for future government. In addition, we have been filing with a number of resolutions, 12 resolutions and 4 or 5 ordinances that is going to be heard tonight. We visited, the manager was kind enough as to go out to my office downtown, and we visited with Chris Penelas, who is an expert in the compound amendments, and we met with him. We explained what the needs were, and he's supposed to come back with a proposal of the type of work that he's going to do. We have been working on the closure of Southwest 57th Court, and also on a very convoluted appeal that for red light cameras that we have been working on. That would be it.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for the attorney? Seeing none, you're off the hook for now, too. Next item.
Item 8, report of the city engineer.
Do you have more on your report?
I don't have anything else at this time. I will, in the subsequent meeting, have a full report of all the projects, as I typically do from time to time, so we'll go over that in the next meeting.
And hopefully by then, we have a further indication on.
If I may interject, I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead, Mr.
Mayor. City Engineer, do you want to talk about what we're going to roll out with the Citizen Serve?
Oh, yes. So we are looking at providing a public portal for our building department.
Beautiful.
So we'll be working with our current provider to get a proposal on getting that going.
And just without dragging this point on, because I'm here, you're going to bring it back to us, but the public portal will include what services being online?
I mean, the idea is to have pretty much everything on the building department so they can be able to put permits in. We actually had that initially. It just didn't work out very well. So we're going to look at rolling that back out. You know, it's been 6-7 years now. Hopefully there's better technology.
Yeah, it's been,
So-
yeah, some things have changed in
Yeah.
technology and that. Yeah,
So, you know, we're going to look at it again and bring it out, get a proposal from them and bring it back to you
Beautiful.
guys.
Thank you. Thank you. What, Next item.
Item 9, committee reports.
Does anyone have anything for committee reports? Seeing none, next item.
Item 10, unfinished business, none this evening. And item 11, under new business agenda item, Mr. Mayor, I would like to request to withdraw items G, 11G and H, which is a mitigation case, 1901 67th Avenue. The petitioner has requested to defer this until next meeting of June 21st.
I think they're in the audience here, so I think there's a confusion there.
Oh, is he here? But, okay, I didn't know you were present because he had requested deferral. I didn't know you were here, sir, so we'll hear the item then.
So there's no
No
withdrawal. Let's just
withdrawals.
go back to the normal order of the
Go
agenda.
back to normal, nothing
Okay.
happened. It's okay, so may I proceed with the agenda, Mr. Mayor?
Yes, please.
Yes, item 11A, this is a first reading, an ordinance of the City of West Miami implementing a 25 miles per hour speed limit on our residential streets in promoting quality of life and addressing safety for our community and instructing the city manager to provide funding from surtax funds, PTP, and the providing new signs as required by law for our residential streets. This is a first reading.
This is a first reading.
Yes.
Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, call the roll.
Yes, Commissioner Suarez, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanca? Commissioner Chavez?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanes?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Patron?
Yes.
5-0, item passes.
Thank you.
And the second reading and public hearing is announced for June 21st, 2023 at 7:30 PM. Next item is item
Well,
11B.
hold on, because
Yes.
before you say that, there's an item later on the agenda. Leave that open-ended because we don't know how that item is gonna shake out, but it might have to do with the time of the public hearing.
Okay.
So,
we'll,
so just,
okay,
yeah,
let's
just,
hold it for
so
now.
it will be whenever the regular commission meeting is after this meeting, whether it's at 7:30 or at 6 or any other time selected by the commission. Because there's an item on the time, so just keep that in mind.
Yes, but this is just a first reading. For the next meeting, we will still have a meeting at 7:30 unless, after you adopt it, then we can have a meeting at 6 PM.
No, the meeting is a resolution.
Okay.
The meeting time is a resolution.
So let's just keep it like that and we'll see. May I proceed, Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Yes, item 11B, this is a first reading, an ordinance of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of West Miami, Florida, amending Article 4, Purchases and Contracts, Section 2-67 through and including Section 271, including definitions of the Code of Ordinances, establishing procedures for purchases, goods and services up to $25,000, authorizing the city attorney to renumber said article, repealing all ordinances of Article 4 in conflict, providing for severability, providing for codification, providing for an effective date.
This is a first
Motion.
reading. We have a
Yes.
motion.
Second.
We have a second. Call the roll.
Yes, Commissioner Blanca, how do you vote? Commissioner Suarez?
Yes.
Commissioner Chavez?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanes?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Patron?
Yes.
5-0, item passes. And
Thank you.
second reading and public hearing will be advertised for June 21st, 2022 at 7:30 PM. Next item, Mr. Mayor?
Next item, please.
Yes, item 11C, this is a first reading, an ordinance of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of West Miami relating to fund balance policy, identifying the fund balance level to ensure uninterrupted operations for the government, providing for ordinances in conflict, codification, severability, and an effective date.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Yes, Commissioner Suarez, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanca? Commissioner Chavez?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanes?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
Yes.
5-0, item passes.
Thank you.
And again, second reading on June 21st, 2022, 7:30 PM.
I'm not sure I want to be this next meeting. It's next item, please.
Yes, item D, this is a first reading, an ordinance of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of West Miami regulating illicit discharge and connection stormwater within the City of West Miami, providing for ordinances in conflict, codification, severability, and an effective date.
Motion. Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Suarez,
Suarez.
second by Vice Mayor Blanes. Call the roll.
Okay, Commissioner Chavez, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanca? Commissioner Suarez?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanes?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
Yes.
5-0, item passes.
Thank you.
Next item, item 11E. This is a first reading, an ordinance of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of West Miami establishing guidelines for authorization of development permits required prior to development activities relating to stormwater systems permits, providing for ordinances in conflict, codification, severability, and an effective date.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Call the roll.
Was the motion made by Vice Mayor Blanes?
The motion was made by Commissioner Suarez, a
Suarez.
second by Vice Mayor
Okay.
Blanes.
Okay, Commissioner Blanca, how do you vote? Commissioner Chavez?
Yes.
Commissioner Suarez?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanes?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
Yes.
5-0, item passes. Next item is item 11F, first reading, an ordinance of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of West Miami establishing soil erosion and sediment control fees for maintenance of drainage structures, providing for ordinances in conflict, codification, severability, and an effective date.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Suarez, a second by Commissioner Blanca.
Okay.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Chavez, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanca, how do you vote? Commissioner Suarez?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanes?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
Yes.
5-0, item passes.
Thank you.
So item 11G, this is a request for mitigation of liens for code violations at the property located at 1901 Southwest 67th Avenue, West Miami, Florida, 33155, and owner Pale Corp.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Commissioners. I'm Phil Sheehy. I represent Pelcorp, and with me is Mrs. Pellicam. She's going to testify very briefly, just to make a record. We're here to try to mitigate a lien against her company, Pelcorp. Do you need to swear her, or can we just proceed?
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Will you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes.
Would you please state your name and address?
I'm Amelia Pelican. I'm the manager of Pelcorp. I live in 7007 Southwest 120 Avenue, Miami, Florida 33183.
Yeah, and what is your relationship?
Would you please
Yeah,
put
please
the
approach
mic
the
down,
microphone a
please,
little bit
because I
more.
cannot hear you.
Just for the record, thank you so much.
Try it. Say something.
A little bit, a little more, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
perfect.
Okay.
Is that better?
Thank
Good.
you.
Yes, much better.
Can we proceed?
Yes.
All right. Ma'am, what is your relationship with Pelcorp?
I'm the manager.
All right, and tell the commission, what is Pelcorp?
It's a company that rents apartment,
And how many apartments does it have?
24,
And what's the address of Pelcorp?
1901 Southwest 67th Avenue.
And we're here today because there's been a fine levied against Pelcorp, correct?
Yes.
Who was Anthony Pelican?
My husband,
And what was his position with Pelcorp?
the owner of the corporation
And
and manager.
And he passed away, correct?
Yes,
And what-
last year.
All right, thank you. Now, one of the issues that we're here on today is the fine against Pelcorp. Tell the commission what you have done at Pelcorp to make sure that the tenants comply with all the ordinances and codes for the city of West Miami, specifically the balconies.
Actually, every time we rent apartment, we give the lease and a letter where the rules are, which includes the balconies, no storage, because we had also been told by the hiring department that the balcony is supposed to be empty in case of an emergency. So we hand the tenants a letter which says everything, no use for storage.
All right, I'm going to mark as exhibit number 1. And where would you like me to put the exhibits?
Would you bring it to me, please?
Yeah, I would be happy to.
Mr. Attorney, I got a
You
question.
have to identify it first. I'm sorry?
To you, Mr. Attorney, I have a question. What did she do before? As far as giving the prospective tenants information?
We're going to show you, this goes back to 2014, when she started sending the letters.
Yeah, let's let them get through their
Okay.
presentation, and then we'll ask any questions.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
I'm going to show you exhibit number 1
For identification.
for identification. Would you tell them what this is?
You will show it to me, and I'll file it with clerk. Okay?
Should I read it?
No, the question is, what is this?
This is a letter that I gave the tenants, telling them what the rules are.
All right.
When
And
they
You-
went.
Madam,
included.
excuse me. Please don't look at him when you're talking, because you go out from the mic.
Oh,
Address
okay.
to the mic, please.
Okay, I'm
Okay?
sorry. I'm sorry, sir.
Thank you. This document is in Spanish, and there's a translation, correct?
Yes,
Who translated this document?
I did.
All right, who signed the original document?
You might gotta-
This signed my husband,
All right, and is this also signed by the tenant?
by the tenant and my husband, yes.
I'd like to move it into
Mark it,
evidence.
so give it to me. Mark it, and give it to me.
Give us one moment, please.
I'm sorry. I was just instructing the clerk to pass me the document.
And for what it's worth, I have exhibit stickers on this,
Yeah, okay,
and I'll give it to her when we're done.
good, okay.
I'd like to move it into evidence, whoever would make that decision.
You may do that. There's no objection by the city.
Okay. This is a document, it says, "Dear tenant, this is to let you know that the city of West Miami and the fire department of Dade County, one, you are not allowed to store objects of any type in the balconies, like washing machines, dryers, barbecues, etc. Also, do not install any type of curtains on the balconies. The reason is because the laws say that the balconies should be accessible in case of fire. This includes bedels or other things, only chairs are allowed." Ma'am, approximately what year was this sent, if you know?
This at least is 2015,
All right.
something like that.
I'm going to show you what we're going to mark as exhibit number 2. Can you tell the commissioners what this document is? What is this document?
Exhibit
This
two.
is a letter that's been given to the tenant,
All right.
telling about, the balconies and all the other rules. It's included the balconies.
And who signed this document?
This is signed by my husband and the tenant.
All right. Was this given to each and every tenant?
Each tenant receives this.
And did you require each tenant to sign this document?
Yes, because some people will say, I didn't get any letter. So this time, we went and have the tenant sign it, that they received the letter.
And approximately what year was this letter sent out?
This has been 2015.
All right. Like to
So
move it
it's-
into evidence?
Without objection.
All right. This letter states in pertinent part, "Dear tenant, the inspector of the city of West Miami has taken pictures of the balconies besides the fire department and rescue of Miami-Dade County and say the balconies should be not used as storage. The tenant doesn't comply in 7 days, which will be November 11th, 2015, will be asked to move out. Here are the rules that should be in compliance. 1, you are not allowed to store objects of any type like washing machines, dryers, barbecues, or others. Do not install curtains in the balconies of any type. The law says the balconies must be accessible in case of emergency or fire. This includes metals or other things in general, only allowed chairs." Now, ma'am, at some point in time, did you receive a citation?
Yes,
And is this a copy of the citation?
yes, May 13, 2022.
I'd like to mark this as number 3.
I haven't seen it yet. Hold on a second.
Of course.
Without objection.
Thank you. Now, ma'am, once you received the citation, what action did you take?
I had somebody go each tenant, tell them to clear the balconies. And they did.
Did you also send a letter?
Also, I sent a letter, which is, the tenant also signed it.
All right. Did you prepare what we've marked as exhibit number 4, dated July 1, 2022?
Yes,
Did you send that to each and every tenant?
correct,
Did each and every tenant have to sign this document?
yes.
I'd like to move this into evidence after I give it to council.
What was the last date you said?
July 1, 2022.
Thank you. Who are we waiting on to make an action here? Are we waiting on us or are we waiting on you?
No, I was waiting, I moved into evidence, I wanted to read it.
Without objection?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, this letter is dated July 1, 2022. Dear tenant, this is to let you know that the city of West Miami sent us citations, which I am sending it to you. The balconies cannot be used as storage. They must be completely accessible in case of fire. I will appreciate your cooperation. By the contrary, tenant will be responsible for the fine. On July, Wednesday, 6 of 2022, we will inspect all balconies of each apartment. If they don't comply, tenant will be asked to move out. Now, after you did this, did you in fact inspect all the balconies?
Yes,
And did you verify that they had all been cleared?
correct,
Did you then go to the city of West Miami and tell them what happened?
yes.
Tell
Every time
tell the
we-
commission what you did.
I went with somebody, with a man, each balcony to inspect it, right after I got the citation. So everything was clear, I went in the back office at the fire, I mean,
Here?
at the works, yes, at the office, yes, behind the
Speak
police
into the
department.
microphone, please.
Police. So I told the girl that at the window, I said, please send the inspector to inspect the balconies. They're being compliant. They're all, being, clear out. I said, yes.
I'm sorry?
But the main mistake I made is I did not do it on writing. Because when Mr. Charlie, the code enforcer before, when the balconies will, they give us a taste, they'll go inspect it and send me a letter of clearance, which I have one here. Where's the letter?
you look
get
at it.
that? You got the letter? This it. That I complied. I inspected that letter. They never did. I don't know if they went inspect or not. I never received the letter,
All
like
right.
Mr. Charlie gave me.
All right, thank you. We're almost done now. I know that the commission.
That was a mistake.
All right, now,
You going to introduce that into evidence, sir?
I'm sorry?
That document, are you going to introduce that into
I
evidence?
believe that's a past letter, right?
yes, it's a past letter, but because she referred to it, we'll mark it as exhibit number 5. It's dated September 11, 2018. Can I proceed?
Yes.
All right. The last letter I want to ask you about. Can you identify this document, please? We'll mark this as Exhibit 6. Can you identify it, please?
Yes.
And what is it?
It's a letter that's been given to the tenants also, where it says that the balconies cannot be as a storage.
What's the date of the letter?
It's February 28, 2023.
And did you give this to each and every tenant?
Correct.
Did each and every tenant have to sign it?
Yes. The tenant sign, actually I did it by hand. There's the letter.
And you also attached the citation, correct?
Also, I attach each tenant citation so they can see the fine that they charge me. Because many tenants, they won't believe you they're gonna fine you, So I gave the citation, each tenant, a copy of the citation,
All right.
plus the letter.
Ma'am, in your opinion, have you done everything you can do
Yes, I
to
did.
make sure that all of your tenants are complying with the codes and the
Yes.
ordinances?
Yes, I got to the point that I have a man checking every day the balconies. That somebody has a bicycle, they say, okay, I'm paying rent in this balcony. Why can I store my bicycle, my child bicycle? Or can I put a chair there? Can I put a plant? I don't know what to tell them.
But you do have someone that you're paying every
Somebody,
single day.
every single day, I have to. So I don't get these fines.
That's all we have. I think there were some questions perhaps.
Yeah, I do have a question.
Let me cross-examine first, please. Madam, my name is Jose Villalobos. I represent the city of West Miami. I see Exhibit 1 that is not signed by anyone. Is that correct? That's an unsigned document.
Not if you look at the second page, Council.
It's the translation,
That's the
it doesn't
translation.
have. There's one and the other one has.
There's only one document. You have more than one tenant?
Yes, I have several letters.
How many tenants do you have?
How many tenants do you
Oh, how many tenants? 24.
How many?
In this building, 24.
21?
I mean, 24 units.
Okay.
Tenants, I have like, there's some units at 3-bedroom, they live 3-4 people.
Well, let the record reflect that Exhibit number 1 is signed by one tenant.
I just brought one sample. I didn't bring them all.
Okay. And Exhibit number 2 is not executed by only one tenant?
There's a
Madam?
signature. This is my husband when he was still signing,
No, the question is this signed by one tenant?
one tenant.
Yeah.
Yeah, my husband and one tenant.
Exhibit number 3 is, you received this notice on May 13, 2022, correct?
Correct.
Okay. The document that you presented that was sent to you by the Court Enforcement Department is dated September 11, 2018. So this
Wait, what it
citation that...
means-
Excuse me.
Go ahead, sir.
This citation you received is subsequent to the September 11, 2018. Is that correct?
I didn't understand your question.
The letter from the department is dated September 11, 2018.
No, it's May 13, 2022.
I think we're looking at
He's
different
talking about the past letter.
Yeah.
He's talking about the past
What the
letter.
letter means that this has been happening before, other times, and what I used to do. He's talking about the letter of compliance. Yeah.
You came to the Court Enforcement Board in order to seek a mitigation of that fine?
Yes,
Okay. How much was the original fine for?
29,000.
$21,000?
29,000.
29. Okay.
You have it right.
Was that fine mitigated?
No,
No.
It was not mitigated at all?
no.
Okay. I don't have any more questions.
Thank you.
I-
Anyone from the table? Go ahead, Vice
I
Mayor.
do have a question.
What do you mean?
I just want to be
He has a
clear
question.
on what it is exactly that you do. You have a business that you rent apartments, that you
Yes.
sublease to other people?
No,
Oh, you own the building?
no.
You-
We just rent them. Some of
But-
the tenants
okay.
sublease it.
Well,
Okay.
We don't-
okay.
This question is, do you own the building or are you an operator? Are you do you own the building? Does Pelcorp own the building?
I'm the trustee now. My husband owned the building. He passed away in July 31st last year. I'm the trustee. I'm the legal representative.
Okay.
So you own the building?
Well,
The corporate, you're...
yes, I'm, actually,
You're the
I'm.
corporate manager and the
Yes,
corporation owns the
correct.
business?
Correct.
Okay. All right. And is how many units? 24 units?
24 units, yes.
24 units, okay. And how tall is this building? Is it,
It's at,
Three
3
stories?
floors, 3
Three
stories.
floors?
Yes.
okay. The other thing is, what did it take so long to get the tenants to remove the objects from the balconies?
Well, you have to go each tenant, and each tenant, I mean, some of them, they listen to you. They do it right away.
Right,
Other tenants, they fight you back. Like they said, I'm paying rent at the balcony. Why can I put my chair there? Why can I store my child's bicycle?
okay.
So,
But you understand that that it is your responsibility because you
Well,
own the building. You
yes.
own the corporation that owns the building, right?
But I went right away to clear the places. I didn't take
Yeah,
at
we-
least
so
2
we-
weeks, at the
we're not-
most.
We're not concerned with what you do. You can do whatever you want. We just need it done. And if it doesn't get done, there's a law, there's a regulation that states that you must do what
Well,
you have to do.
As you see, as you saw the letter, I threatened the tenants to move out, and I'll kick them out if they don't comply. I mean, I
Commissioner
try
Ray.
my best. It's not that I'm negligent. I mean, how much can you push a tenant because they put a chair on it? It's not just, everybody have a barbecue.
Mr. Manager, do you have a recommendation?
Wait, hold on, let me get Commissioner's question, and then we'll get the recommendation from administration. Go ahead.
Hi there. So on May 13th, 2022, you received a citation that was stating that you're going to start receiving a fine every day from that point on,
I received the citation, yes.
because then it took until July 1st of that same year to make contact with the residents. So why was there a gap
No.
between,
No,
the
it did
first
not.
letter was sent out July 1st, 2022?
I went right after I received the letter, and everybody cleared the balconies out. So I
Well-
came in the back and tell them to go inspect. They didn't inspect it.
These dates are the dates that you gave. So May 13th, you received the citation. July 1st, you sent letters to residents, and they had until July 6th to
Well,
clear their
that's-
balconies.
That's, way
But during
after.
that time frame, there's fees that are starting to amount. And it took, the question
But it
is, what
wasn't-
took so long
But it
to?
wasn't my fault. It's that they didn't go inspect. I told the girl to send inspector.
Right, but
They
the
didn't
city
go.
notified, and you received the citation on May 13th. And the question is, what was the gap? Why did it take so long to notify residents? Took about a month and a half to notify
Well,
residents.
verbally, we went to knock on the doors and tell them. Then they didn't, some people don't listen to you, then finally decide to write a letter.
So you're saying that in the time period between the fine and the letter you sent out, you made personal contact with the residents? You made contact physically with the residents?
Yes, I went right
To
away. When I
notify them.
received the citation, I went to each tenant to make them clean the balconies.
That was my
But the
question.
people don't listen. So what do? I write it down. Even writing it down, they don't listen.
Thank you. Mr. Manager, could you give your recommendation?
Yeah, a couple things. Number one, the citation clearly says that you have 10 days in written form to write to us and to mitigate or go in front of the board. So obviously, you were informed that you had a 10-day window to be able to write to the city and ask for a hearing in front of the board. I understand the predicament. At the end of the day, the city of West Miami is looking for compliance, we're not trying to be punitive. However, this has happened more than once. My recommendation is that we mitigate this down to $4,000 plus the court cost, which is $44.68 in total. And this is the second or the third time that this has happened. I am not here to tell you how to run your things, but leniency is, you need to figure out a way to be able to, through your attorney or through anybody else, be able to figure out a way to make sure that your tenants stay in compliance, because at the end of the day, you are the owner and you are responsible for this.
Let me also
I'm very
stress that,
sorry,
let me also
maybe I
stress
was
that,
a little late because my husband passed away also, and everything happened,
And my condolences for that, I understand, and that's why I'm trying to work with you, and my recommendation is to drop the $29,000 to $4,000 plus the court costs, and we'll work with you and do what we can in the future, but you need to try to keep your tenants to comply.
I understand,
It's a life safety issue.
I understand.
It's not something that we're doing. It's a life
I try my
safety issue.
best. Like I said, I have a person now, every day checking the apartments, the balcony.
And we appreciate that.
Mr. Attorney and then Commissioner Suarez, go ahead.
okay, let
I-
the record reflect that the lady had been afforded due process, that the ordinance had not been challenged, and that there was a determination by the Code Enforcement Board to bring it out to the commission, and that there was nothing filed from the defendant. Is there anything else? as far as transcript of the proceeding.
Thank you. Commissioner Schwartz, you had something to say?
May I ask a question?
Ma'am, good evening.
Hello,
Did
sir.
you understood the manager, right?
Yes,
Did you understood clear what he did, what he
Yes.
told you?
yes,
Because
sir.
the city is trying to help you.
Thank you so much.
We are not in the business of trying to get the blood from nobody.
I understand, sir.
So you have to cooperate with the regulations and the laws of the city. And you have to tell everybody who you rent the principles that have to keep standing. So the city and the manager expressed now his opinion, and the attorney, that the city trying to help you. So
Yes.
keep in your mind
Yes.
that. And you have a lawyer, like your counselor, you have people can help
Yes.
you to remain your things and to help you.
Thank you so much. I'm recuperating, you know.
Well, you understood that. Well, I
I'll,
agree- I
I'll
agree
try
with
my
the
best.
manager.
Can I ask a question, sir?
Yeah.
I mean, what is the tenant allowed to have in the balcony? Because some people want to keep the child's bicycle, you know, or tricycle on the balcony. I don't know what to tell them.
Let's, please, Mr. Manager, if we could have someone from our city, off the record, provide information to make sure we work with our property owners and make sure that they're aware of what the rules are and make sure that they can advise their tenants and avoid any issues. So we'll provide you that information,
Be
personally.
happy to talk to the
Thank you
city.
very much.
Please do so.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I make a motion to accept the city
Okay.
manager's
Second.
recommendation.
We have a motion and a sec, we hold your motion for a second. What is the time period that we're, allotting for the amount? Madam Clerk, what is the normal, amount of time that we've
90
provided?
days.
90 days, is that an issue? Payment in 90 days in full?
Payment in 90 days, is that acceptable?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So, would
It
you like
is
to?
also, excuse me,
Go ahead.
it is also traditional that if they don't pay within 90 days, the fine will go back to the original amount.
That is in the resolution, then the amount shall revert to the original lien amount after 90 days. So, you guys, you feel comfortable with 90-day window to make the payment?
It's fine.
Okay, Vice Mayor, would you add it to your motion?
Yes.
Thank you.
With the
You have a,
leg-
you have a
with the
motion?
golden-
Second.
You have a second?
Motion and a second.
Call the
May
roll?
I
Oh,
read-
read the resolution and then call
Yes.
the roll. Thank you.
Item
we'll
H,
do the motion
resolution
second.
of Mayor and City Commission of the City of West Miami authorizing the city manager to accept a mitigation offer in the amount of $4,000 from Pell Corp on code enforcement lien for court violations at the property located at 1901 67th Avenue, West Miami, Florida, providing that if payment in full is not paid in 90 days, then the amount owed shall revert to the original amount, lien amount, providing for an effective date. Motion by Vice Mayor Blanes, second by Commissioner Suarez. Commissioner Blanca, how do you vote? Commissioner Chavez, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Suarez?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanes?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
Yes,
5-0, item passes.
thank you.
Is that okay with you, Counselor?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for your cooperation.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
sir.
you.
Madam, you have a wonderful attorney. okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a very professional job. Thank you. Let's keep it rolling.
Yes,
Next item.
Item I, a resolution of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of West Miami, Florida, authorizing the city manager to compensate additional services in the contract between the City of West Miami and Eco Strata Services for the work in connection with the grant between the City of West Miami and EPA in the amount of $3 million for the continuation of the potable water improvement project. Said fees shall be paid from the EPA grant, instructing the Office of the City Manager to fund the additional amount of $12,000 per year for a period of 1 year commencing June 1st, 2023 through May 31st, 2024, providing for an effective date.
So this one was discussed at length at a previous meeting, and it was brought back just as was provided in that meeting. Does anyone have any further questions or comments on this?
Yes,
Go ahead.
at a considerable savings.
Yes. Yes.
I make a motion.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Call the roll.
Yes, Commissioner Chavez, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanca? Commissioner Suarez?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanes?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
Yes.
5-0, item passes.
Thank you. Next item.
Item J, a resolution of Mayor and City Commission of the City of West Miami, Florida, instructing the city engineer to conduct a traffic study for the purpose of abandoning a right-of-way east of Cooper Park, specifically a road located between Southwest 15th Street and Southwest 16th Street and on Southwest 57th Court, providing for the reversal of title to adjacent property owners, providing for transmittal of intent to Miami-Dade County, providing for an effective date.
Madam Manager, do you want to provide some brief context to this?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. This is the road that is in between the Publix and our Cooper Park property. It's a two-way road. This is an abandonment of half of the right-of-way and reverting it back to the parks for Cooper Park. And it's to do the process that we need to do through the Miami-Dade County, so we are able to reclaim that portion of the street and add it onto our Cooper Park. I think it's an easy way to add a lot of square footage to our park and make it a much better improvement for our park there.
Yeah, and the resolution states that the Parks Recreation Committee will have a say on its use. Does anyone have any questions or concerns on this item?
No, my question is this.
Go for it.
Abandon the right of way east or south or north, because east-west is 16th Street, and north-south is the street between the park and Publix.
It is abandoning half of the right-of-way on 57th Court between 15th and 16th Street.
So it's a two-lane
What
one-way.
I mean,
It's a two-lane.
right-of-way east of Copper Park, east of Copper Park, yeah, I understand now, yeah. East, okay, thank you, I'm sorry, it's okay.
Does anyone have any questions, concerns, comments?
I agree with that motion,
Second.
because it will be more comfortable for everybody there.
Who made the motion?
Commissioner
Approve
Suarez,
this.
Commissioner Suarez made the
Yes.
motion. Second,
second by Vice Mayor
Vice
Blanes,
Mayor Blanes.
Commissioner Chavez.
Commissioner Chavez?
or
Okay.
Commissioner Chavez?
We'll give him that one.
Okay.
All right. Let's call the roll.
He beat me to it.
Okay, Commissioner Blanca, how do you vote? Commissioner Suarez, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Chavez?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanes?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
Yes.
5-0, item passes.
Thank you. Next item.
Item 11K, a resolution of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of West Miami, Florida, notifying neighbors of work being done in the street, providing for effective date.
So this one was something that I spoke with the manager about for a little bit. I think it's, I'll briefly explain it. When we're doing a lot of these projects, there are situations where residents have contractors in front of their house and they don't know why. They get there early to scope it out and just people walking around. They have some people coming over and now their sidewalk is booked. So it's just a communication, transparency, making sure that people know what's going on in front of their house. So I'm happy the manager brought this quickly to rectify this and create more communication with the neighbors. So does anyone have any questions or concerns on this item?
No,
There's
I
also a
agree with
proposed
that.
letter.
I'm sorry? There's
There's
also
also
a draft.
proposed-
There's also a draft of the letter that will be given to the doorstep of the house. We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Call the roll.
Yes, Commissioner Suarez, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Chavez?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanca? Yes. Okay, Commissioner Blanca, Commissioner Suarez, Commissioner Chavez, Vice Mayor Blanes?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
Yes.
5-0, item passes.
Thank you.
No, I have a question.
Go for it.
Mr. Alonso. It's a simple question.
Yes, sir.
I will receive a notice from you that my street is something done.
No, let's carve him out of this.
Right.
Let's
You
carve
will
his
not
house
get
out
a
of the
notice.
notices.
Oh, this. Thank you. It's going to be nice. It's going to be nice.
Next item.
Item L, a resolution of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of West Miami, Florida, rescheduling the regular City Commission meetings from 7:30 p.m. to 6 p.m., providing for an effective date.
Well, let me just briefly say, I was, during the COVID era, there was a time period where their meetings were during the day. I personally fought for them to be back in the evening, and at the time, I mentioned that we could adjust when it was in the evening. I think this would allow us to get our work done for longer agendas to get it done quicker and earlier in the day, and allows families to have a problem here to actually dinner with their family afterwards. So, that's why we brought it forward to the manager now. But if no one has any other questions or concerns, we have a motion on the table,
We need the effective date. When the effective date.
providing for an effective date. Is the effective date not on the resolution? I thought I read it.
Do we have any comments from staff,
Is it not
Police.
immediate, is it not immediate upon my signature?
engineer, Parks and Recreation? Everybody on board?
Game?
I think John Michael likes staying late.
This is, by the way, just to clarify, this is for our regular city commission meetings. This resolution does not impact planning and zoning or code enforcement. That, we and the manager discussed it, they'll deal with that on their own as long as the meetings are in the evening. Personally, I have no problem, but, we'll let those boards decide for themselves, when in the evening they're gonna continue 7:30 or change it.
Agreed.
That is correct. This is just for the commission, and it is effective as soon as if it's adopted by the commission and signed by the mayor, so you're not leaving without signing tonight.
I'll second.
It's good.
I'll second the
It's
motion.
good, because then we have the evening, 7:30 is in the middle of the, good.
Do we have a
So
motion
have
and a
a
second?
motion. Who made the second?
The motion was by Commissioner
Commissioner
Blanca, the
Chavez?
second was by, who made the second?
Chavez,
Commissioner
right?
Chavez.
Chavez. So Commissioner Suarez, how do you vote?
Yes,
Commissioner Chavez?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanca? Vice Mayor Blanes?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
Yes,
5-0, item passes.
thank you.
Next item, item 11M.
Oh, this is the fun
resolution.
stuff, okay, good.
Resolution of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of West Miami, Florida, accepting that certain grant from the Office of Criminal Justice Grant, Florida Department of Law Enforcement, reference Justice Assistance Grant, residual funding requested by the Police Department on or about March 29, 2023, in the amount of blank for the purchase of 2 police patrol interceptors, providing for an effective date.
Go ahead, Chief.
Good evening once again, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Vice Mayor, Commissioners. On or about March 29th, Deputy Chief Delgado, as I stated earlier, made a formal request in writing to the Department of Law Enforcement residual grant funding system. And to our surprise, it was approved, and it was for 2 vehicles. The original grant was for $110,000. That's what we requested, and we were approved for $100,000. So kudos to Deputy Chief.
Thank you. Good job
And
again,
thank you, Pete.
our money man.
So the total amount of the cost of the vehicles are $103,800. So $100,000 will be covered by this grant. And we just recently received, the day before yesterday, information that it was totally approved. So with your
I don't know about this one.
permission, we'd like to move forward with this grant.
Does anyone have any questions or concerns?
Motion.
We have a motion? I agree. We have a
And
motion?
at no cost to the city
And at no
residents.
cost to the residents.
Yes.
Beautiful. Even though it would be a positive, it would be a it would be a cost well worth it, but even better. We have a motion?
Yeah, motion?
We have a second? Call the roll?
Yes, Commissioner Blanca, how do you vote? Commissioner Chavez?
Yes.
Commissioner Suarez?
Yes,
Vice Mayor Blanes?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
Yes.
5-0, item passes.
Thank you. Stay up there a while, Chief. You're getting a lot of new toys.
Yes, item N, resolution of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of West Miami, Florida, approving the purchase of 3 administrative vehicles from Garber Ford to replace obsolete units under the cooperative purchasing program from Florida Sheriff's in the amount of $150,439. Funding will not impact city's general fund. Funding shall come from forfeited and seized properties in criminal federal cases, providing for an effective date.
motion.
Second.
Well, just let him at least say what he's getting.
So, again, after meeting with the manager and discussing the needs of the department, I went ahead and explained to him that, we had several vehicles that were over 100,000 miles in the fleet and that they needed to be replaced. And at that point, we talked about equitable sharing. He said to go ahead and use the funds. I then began the search to try to go ahead and locate vehicles, which is really hard right now. As an example, the pickup truck that was approved 8 months ago, all I've been able to get until yesterday was a VIN number. So there is a VIN that exists, but the truck hasn't even been turned in yet. So I was able to locate these vehicles along with the other pursuit vehicles from Palm Beach Garden through Bartow Ford that were leftovers of purchases they have made. And obviously, we had to move on it as quickly as possible. And the total amount in cost with equipment will be $159,439. And it will be coming from equitable sharing at no cost to the
And
citizens.
no cost to the taxpayer. That comes from big federal bus, right?
Correct, from seized funds from our federal cases that we're involved in,
Beautiful.
Criminal activity.
from heavy-duty criminal
Yeah,
activity.
we had a motion somewhere.
Yes, motion or second motion.
Who made the motion for the record?
Commissioner
Commissioner
Suarez,
Suarez.
second by Vice Mayor Blanes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Call the roll.
Commissioner Chavez, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanca? Commissioner Suarez?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanes?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
Yes.
5-0, item passes.
Wait, before you read the next resolution, when is the projected time that we'll get these, I guess, the 5 vehicles?
We should be able to get the 3 vehicles within the next, 3 of the vehicles, the administrative vehicles, within 3 to 4 weeks, maybe even sooner. The other vehicles we have to give them a PO. Once they have the PO that they know we're going to pay for it, they send them to get equipped in their own shops, and then when the vehicle arrives, it arrives equipped already.
But they're actually built. They're built already, the vehicles?
They're ready to go. They're
Oh,
on
beautiful.
the floor.
Okay,
They
great.
just need a guarantee. They need the manager's signature that
Let's
we're
sign
gonna
that
pay.
thing. All right, next item.
Item O, resolution of the mayor and city commission of the city of West Miami, Florida, approving the purchase of 6 police bicycles from supplier Max Cycle to be funded from the forfeited seized arrest federal assisted cases, providing for an effective date.
Once again, this is also the same situation. In the memo that says that the bicycles are 17 years old, some of those bicycles are 25 years old. We have spent buku money repairing these old bicycles. So we were able to locate through our NRO at Max Cycle, which is the company that usually fixes our bicycles and as a matter of fact, sold us these bicycles, the original ones. And we're in dire need of new bicycles for our bicycle patrols, for the community policing and the NRO and that sort of thing. So with the manager's approval, we put in for the request. We went, they happen to have 6 bicycles in a box waiting to be built when we pay for them.
Beautiful.
And they're fully equipped also.
Beautiful. Just a little history lesson. I was appalled that we were using bicycles that old in the department. But
By the way, one of those bicycles was mine. It was a donation to the city.
it was your personal bike. Okay, so the
That was the antique, right?
it
Oh,
was-
well, it was an antique. It was 13 years old. It was
Well, it's-
mine from the city of
you know,
Miami. So
these bikes are probably, frankly, when Senator Rubio ran for office in the city of West Miami for a commission, he ran on 2 issues. One was adding trees, and the other one was the bike patrol. And I think from the dates you're giving me, it was probably these purchases were from when Senator Rubio ran for commission.
probably
And
pretty
he's
close.
served over 2 terms in the Senate, so
Yes.
that's a long time. So I'm glad we're getting new
Yeah,
new equipment
the
and
prices were outrageously good. I mean, they gave us
Beautiful.
a huge discount.
fantastic. That's it'd be great for the department, great for the community. Yeah, the other bikes in the museum.
Motion.
You have a motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Pick from a hat, Madam Clerk, and call the roll.
Yes, Commissioner Suarez?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanca? Commissioner Chavez?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanes?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
Yes,
5-0, item passes.
thank you. Next item.
Item
Thank you,
11P,
Chief.
a resolution of the City Commission of City of West Miami, Florida, rescinding any prior resolution of the city with reference to ceremonial recognitions or awards to organizations or individuals, establishing procedures and guidelines rendering tribute to organizations or individuals, including keys to the city or other tributes, providing for an effective date.
Yeah, this resolution just certifying the charter position and changes the provision of recording the log of recognitions, changing it from the manager authority to under the clerk's position.
Motion.
We have a motion. We have a second. Call the roll.
Yes, Commissioner Suarez, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanca, Commissioner Chavez,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanes,
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón.
Yes.
5-0, item passes.
Thank you. Next item.
Item Q, a resolution of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of West Miami, Florida, setting forth time limitation for submittal of requests for resolutions and ordinances to the city attorney and city clerk no less than the Monday prior to the following Friday deadline for submittal of the agenda from the city clerk, providing for an effective date.
Okay, Mr. Attorney, Mr. Manager, explain this item.
Well, I'll start. After going through our first agenda, it's become obvious to me that we need a little bit more time. Our agendas are a little bit heftier than what we are accustomed to in the city of West Miami, but there are certain things that we need to do. What I'm looking for is just a little bit more extra time so that we have the time to go through the agenda, make sure it's correct. Our city clerk has the time to do her stuff. Our legal department has the time to do their stuff, and we put out the best product possible in time for you all as a council to review it over the weekend. Obviously, this does not preclude any discussion issues or items that you want to put on. That you can do and continue to do the same way. And obviously, if there's an emergency of some sort, that can also be added on to an agenda. But this is just to try to get a little bit of procedure and process in place to allow us as your charter officers the time to do this the right way and ensure that things are done correctly. And I will now defer to the city attorney and have him discuss, because I was good from anything from at the end of business Wednesday night forward. That will give us Thursday and Friday. The city attorney, with all due respect to him, has his own opinion, and I understand his opinion. He wants more time to be able to do the legal review that is needed, and I'll let him explain that
Okay,
part
but
of it.
before he explains it, whose opinion is on the resolution? If this resolution was passed without comment, whose opinion is?
The city attorney
Okay,
requested the Monday, and I was good with at the end of the day, Wednesday.
Understood. Go ahead, Mr. Attorney.
Well, I don't have anything else to say. I mean, I think that everybody has to recognize, number one, that a proper ordinance has to be researched. There are times that an ordinance is requested, and there are laws that need to be researched. And I think that even Monday is too short of a time, but I'll defer to the commission and to the manager.
You know,
Okay.
the city attorney told me that anyone that intended to violate this, he was gonna take them out back in the parking lot, take care of them.
That's off the record. Go ahead, Commissioner.
We have now,
So nobody better attempt to violate.
we have now a week, right? A week previous to the meeting. I mean, next week is going to be a meeting Wednesday, and we have to, Wednesday of the previous meeting, previous week, right, that we have now, a week. And this is
By
asking
Monday.
for 10 days.
Wait,
The agenda has to go on Friday, prior to the meeting on Wednesday. If the agenda has to go on Friday, then we have to have time in which to draft the resolution or the ordinance to the clerk, so the clerk can check it out with the manager. So even 5 days is too short of a time.
Actually, we have a week.
We don't
The
have
Friday
anything, we
before,
say.
No, we don't have anything established.
No,
yeah, I remember when Belia was mayor here.
Okay.
Go ahead, go ahead, Commissioner.
When Melia Yedra was mayor here, we implemented a policy of a week before the meeting. The week before, I remember that when Belia was the mayor, that was implemented, a week. Now, the idea now is what, 10 days?
What is the proposal?
There's the proposal as it's written is for any and all suggestions from the council and or staff to be submitted to the city clerk 10 days prior to the meeting.
10 days.
To allow us a chance to review it for legal sufficiency and to allow the city clerk the time to write it up. And then that way we will be able to publish it prior to like now, we were scrambling to try to publish this by the end of the day Friday, and in fact, we had to do a little bit of rewrite and cleaning up afterwards. What I'm asking, respectfully asking for, is for this commission to give us a little bit more time, whether it's the Monday before a meeting or whether it's the Tuesday or the Wednesday. I will defer to the commission to tell me which day,
Well,
but at least, at the very latest, it would be the Wednesday, which will give us Thursday and Friday to do the legal sufficiency and make sure that it's written correctly, and be able to publish it and get it on the web and to the commission by the end of the day Friday.
Could-
Obviously, if we have longer, it's better.
So
yeah,
let me
go ahead,
rephrase,
Commissioner. Go ahead.
I didn't finish yet, one
Yeah,
more.
go ahead.
Let me rephrase now we have a week, right? Clerk, we have a week.
Usually, we publish the agenda by Friday prior to
Okay.
the meeting.
That's what we have now. Now, the new proposition is 10 days.
No, we still publish on Friday, but we need your request by Monday of that week prior
So
to the meeting.
you count of 10 days.
Well,
But anyway, the point is this. What is recommendation of the administration? 10 days?
The request of the charter officers is anywhere between 7 to 10 days, and I'll defer to the commission to give me that. At the very latest, if we could have it the Wednesday, 1 week prior, not 10 days, 7 days prior, that's a substantial help. Any more time than that
Could
is
I-
something that we can revisit at a future date.
Could I ask, can
Okay.
I recommend, can I recommend a happy medium, maybe? Ordinances are far more intensive than resolutions, right? And again, this is a resolution, meaning that we can bring this back. If things aren't working, we can bring it back, we can readjust it. It's a very quick adjustment, right? Let's find a happy medium for now. Let's see how it's working out. Let's keep the ordinances for Monday, right? And resolution deadline by Wednesday. Does that work better? Resolutions are much far less intensive, but also are frankly things that happen much quicker. Ordinances, we tend to sit and work on a lot longer and be a lot more thought out and a lot more thought intensive. So let's, with your opinions, let's just keep it
Whatever you
like that.
decide, whatever you decide.
Okay, and if it's not working, we will know and we
May
can bring it
I,
back. Go ahead, Mr. Attorney.
I'll give an example of an ordinance that Commissioner Vice Mayor Blanes have been after for quite a long time. We drafted the ordinance, and then the legislature in Tallahassee decided to review the law of the state of Florida. Then I drafted 3 more ordinances, and still Tallahassee kept changing the ordinance. There's a lot of times that we need time in which to give you good legal work and not improvise. If I improvise, you're going to suffer, and I'm going to suffer. So
No, I understand that,
What I'm
and I'm
asking-
going with your date on the ordinances. The Monday for the ordinances, right? For resolutions, the Wednesday.
okay. Now, what I'm going to do is this: if I find that the ordinance is usually something out of sight, or confusing, or that need more work, I will, through the manager, I'll report that to the commission.
Okay. So are we all in agreement with the Monday for ordinances, the Wednesday for resolutions? Happy medium? Okay, I need a motion on that as amended. We have a motion as amended.
Second.
We have a second as amended. Call the roll.
Commissioner Suarez?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanca? Commissioner Chavez?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Blanes?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
Yes.
5-0, item passes.
Thank you. Next item.
Item 12, consent agenda items. You have 2 items on the consent agenda, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Does anyone have a motion on this?
Motion.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Beautiful. Next item.
Item 13, good of the order.
Anyone for good of the order? Seeing none, it's time for the Heat game.
Go Heat.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
You have to, yeah.